Welcome, welcome. Let me just edit one thing here. Go live, save changes. Okay, hello everybody. We are live on Facebook and on LinkedIn, I hope. It looks like my LinkedIn, there we go, going live on LinkedIn. I hope that works. That's the big one that we want to do. And also going live on YouTube. I'm just trying to make sure that this is okay. Try creating a new room, remove this. Okay, all right. We are joined today by Amy John. Amy John is the owner of Training House Gym, and she joined us on the 70th episode of the Entrepreneur Evolution podcast. Hi, Amy. Welcome, welcome. How are you today?
Good. It's good to be with you again.
Oh my gosh, it's so good to be here. I just want to make sure we are okay on LinkedIn because LinkedIn seems to be giving me some trouble, but if it isn't, I can always publish it from Facebook. So for whatever reason we aren't live, there's always a workaround. But this episode of the podcast was with Amy, episode 70 in March, and she shared her story from education to being a gym owner right prior to COVID. Her story is amazing. If you have not listened to the podcast, you need to tune in. But what we're doing here today is we are welcoming Amy back so that she can give us an update and share with us her wins and also give us an industry outline of what she's seeing right now with the world reopening and what that looks like to her and her business. So welcome, welcome, welcome.
Thank you for having me again. This is great.
Absolutely. It's wonderful. And thank you for keeping me sane during COVID and being a huge part of my wellness routine and my life and community. And just, I'm grateful for that. So
thank you.
So give us the quick backdrop of the company, and then I want you to share 3 wins that you've had or your community has had since we spoke last in March.
Okay. Well, we are Performance Gym in Baltimore County, right off of Falls Road. We're small, and we really cater to people who have an inner athlete in them. We work with little ones, 8 years old, all the way through young parents, older parents. We've got a bunch of new NFL players in there who are working out in the off season. And then David Manning runs our student athlete program and collegiate athletes. So it's a performance gym. It's not a big box gym. You're in there to get bigger, faster, and stronger. And our big tagline is train like an athlete. So that's what we do.
That's great. Well, and you definitely feel like you need to be an athlete to be an entrepreneur because you are constantly conditioning every single muscles you didn't even know lived in you. And, you need that healthy outlet to really de-stress and grow and think creatively, right?
Yes, absolutely.
So what are some recent wins? Share with us.
Well, it's crazy. The blinking that has happened since March. And I think the big one that stands out is we went from a masked environment to a maskless environment. And I know it's amazing. And it's a win, but I had a bump that I wanted to share with everybody along the way. And I must say the CDC kind of came out of nowhere. I was anticipating that there would be at least a step. And instead they were like, we're good to go. You're fine. And so I wasn't prepared for that. I thought we were going to go into that phase like a restaurant where you wear your mask until you get to your location. But instead, I had made the decision that I was a mask policeman for a year, and I was not going to be a vaccine czar, is what I called myself. So on Saturday, I said, no masks, you guys are fine. And it made sense to me in my head because I knew everyone and I basically knew whether they were vaccinated and that we did have herd immunity. But then over the weekend, new people started signing up for classes. And I was like, I don't know these people. I don't know what their story is. And so on Monday, I walked in the gym and I said, I made a mistake and I need to own my mistake. And I need everybody's vaccination card. I need to see it to allow you to work out without a mask. And so it was a win for me because just own your mistake. People appreciate the transparency of it. And then when they say, what changed your mind? Tell them what changed your mind. And so that's what I did. And in 36 hours, I had 150 pictures of vaccination cards in my phone. And that was a win. And I think people appreciated it. And I think that what I also understood is that there is a range of comfort. And I need to support everybody's range, from the people who have thought this is nothing to the people who wouldn't come inside. And so my job. So that was a win. And we're now maskless in the gym, and that's a huge win. I would say another win, and Annette, you're going to be really fascinated, I think, by this. And that is when COVID happened, I found that I was tied to the industry's message. And the big industry's message was the future of fitness is at home. And here I am, this little teeny gym that didn't have a platform or a corporate office in order to launch an online anything. And now they're putting out this very powerful message that, oh no, you don't need a gym anymore. We can get this to you in your living room. And look how perfect this is going to be. That was not my message, but I'm tied to that industry message. And so my win was stay in my lane, get my message out to my audience, and don't be distracted by that nonsense. So when I would post things, it would say the future of fitness is a training house. And, we're wired to be with community, and don't forget about your friends. And so every time I would hear that, I would rebound it with my own messaging. And so I consider that a win also because of the retention and then all of these new people coming in now. So it's huge. And it also taught me, because when the Mirror came out with that message, the future of fitness is at home, I felt a piece of me died because they're a big monster and I'm just a pea, and here they are setting my message. So I had to figure out how to not be tied to that message. So I would say that was a win.
And there's a good saying, just to interject this, Amy, is, if you don't tell your story, someone else will. And if you don't share your story, someone else will. And I think that business owners often, I love your transparency and your openness, and it just benefits the community so much because everyone's saying, yes, that's happening to me right now. That is something that I'm looking at them and they're saying this, but that's not me. And I'm so proud of you for really having that's a huge step in growth and awareness. And to say, that might be their message, but that's not who we are and who I am. And I'm going to really rebound and reflect that and stay in my lane. That's a huge win.
It was a huge win. They're Goliath. And they have huge platforms to be screaming those. I mean, the whole thing of, you got fat over COVID, let us help get you skinny. And I'm like, oh my God, stop saying that. That's absurd.
Right.
But here I am tied to that industry message. And so my power is to make sure my lane is not that message.
Absolutely. And I overheard you the other day. Someone said, you should do before and after pictures, right? And you're like, nope, that's not what we're about here. Breaks. We're not about that. We're about a different journey. And you really stick to that. And that's hard when you are in a B2C business, because you want to listen to your clients, to your consumer, to your community, but you also need to still lead them and bring them their feedback is key, but also really staying to your vision is a great blend of both, right?
Yes, For sure. And to do it in a way that really appreciates that there are 100 other messages that the brain takes you there. How can I be that strong to get you over here? And so, it's just layering, saying it off the cuff here and there, and then it clicks.
Great. So the huge wins there. Thank you for sharing those. So let's talk about industry update. We have various businesses, different level businesses, different people in their business at different stages. And I really like to get a pulse on the industry, whether what you're seeing from, the client standpoint or just what you're hearing as a whole. I know we just touched on that slightly, but anything from an economic impact standpoint, from an overall vibe of the economy and your industry that you can share with the audience that might be insightful?
What I have picked up on is that there is a common denominator of strength in the fitness industry. And what the industry is now doing is they are either saying, you made it, we were strong enough to make it, there's so many people who didn't. And somehow they're playing off of, we're stronger than them, come with us type of thing. And I was very fascinated to see that. Lapping back, it is pretty crazy of the messaging of, you probably don't feel very good about yourself right now, so come over here, we'll make you feel better, instead of being, this is a place where you can find yourself and be supportive. And so I think that they're really psychologically tapping in on people's weaknesses, and that makes me sad. That makes me really sad.
Yes.
And I've been reading, these diet industry places are just booming right now. And again, they tap into people's vulnerabilities, and it's not a sustainable thing, but they're getting it now when people are crawling themselves out of a hole.
Well, and I think that's what you and your community at Training House and all your amazing trainers and everyone there does well. It is a community approach. It is an evolution, one of my favorite words, to really be on your wellness journey, to be healthy together, to have an outlet, to have a place, and this wonderful place to grow with yourself and with each other, right? Alongside really strong, healthy, growth-minded people, right?
Yeah. Absolutely. And it's pretty amazing when I get these calls sometimes, people are embarrassed to have to tell me I haven't been in a gym for a year. And my job is to make sure everybody starts wherever they are, and there is no embarrassed. You're brave enough to get yourself in here and do something really hard. Good for you. You're to be celebrated. But I think everybody's go-to is, I'm ashamed, I'm embarrassed, and that's what this industry does. And so I have to work that much harder to combat all of that negative stuff in an industry that should be so positive.
Right. Well, you make it fun every day. You make it different every day. It's a rotational model through stations that is still very, very, very safe, regardless of, what the CDC wants us to do or not. Pre-COVID, any gym you were in, you always, were always worried about safety and cleanliness. And hands down, it is stellar in that regard, whether you have the COVID on or not. It's just a fun and healthy and very clean environment.
Thank you.
I honestly don't think that I've done the same version of a workout once at all. Right. And now I'm not a lifer by any means, but I have been coming consistently, which is great. And that variety, that creativity, and what it takes probably for your team to put that thoughtfulness in, that care into the program, into knowing that, after you do this type of station, you need this type of station, and the whole thing makes sense together. It's just so well done. And I just really have to give you and your team a huge high 10 on that, because it's great. It's great.
Al Balducci is the best in the business, and all of my young trainers have been mentored under him. And now they want to make this different. They're like, being that creative and hearing, and I tell these guys all the time what you all say, and it just inspires them. So it's kind of like, it makes you want to show up because you're wondering what they put together this time.
Right.
Right. It's kind of interesting. You never know what you're going to walk into.
That's right. Well, and it's different than, you know, like you said, the at home, because when you work out, and Al jokes with me a lot. He's like, I'm like, I come here, my brain's off. Like I'm here for my brain to be off. He's like, some of the smartest people sometimes, you know, just they're like, here are these doctors and you and that. And I'm like, well, we're here so that we can turn it off and you can just tell us what to do. Like, it's our time to just like shut it down. And, you know, when you're at home, you have to worry about this and that and who's here and there and the dog and da, 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 da. It's just, it's such like, it's self-care. It really is. It's great.
It's self-care.
So, okay. So any upcoming challenges or obstacles that you foresee in the business that you'd feel like you'd want to share with the audience?
So, I would say a challenge is, for me right now, it's figuring out growth. And what are those numbers that you need to see in order to say, yes, I'm going to bring on somebody new. I'm going to add this. I'm going to add that. When does all of that intersect with each other that you jump a little bit? And so that's kind of where I am right now.
Right.
Summer and gyms in the past have been one narrative. They get very slow. Everybody's out of town, this and that. But everything's become so unpredictable. You can't predict anything. So you have to plan for everything. So I was kind of working with my team right now, and I was on a call with David Manning today and talking about, all right, let's be monitoring this, and we need to be ready to go if we need to bring in a few more trainers. And my guess is I'm probably going to start being approached by people saying, I'd love to work over there. And so how do I intersect all of that? And I think that that's for every business owner, the whole when you push the pedal.
Yes. It's like a cart or horse, you know, do we need the business in order to support the team, or do we get the team and then the business comes? It's an ongoing at every level in your business. And I think that that's a really honest, great share. And the summer schedule, the summer mode, it is always so challenging to gauge, for sure. Yeah. So thank you for those shares. I know that a lot of people can relate to that.
For sure.
Any opportunities?
So I had a trainer who's been working here for years, and he told me May 31st is my last day. And he really was the foundation of my afternoon athletic program. So it was an opportunity of, how can I build leadership? How can I restructure an entire program to position it for even more growth? And that's when I made the big announcement about David Manning. He'd been there for a year, and I named him as director of our student athlete program and our afternoon program. And now he's going to build his team, and I'm going to support him rather than him reporting to me. Right. And so I'm just building capacity. I'm building gym capacity, leadership capacity for these young guys. And so it's an opportunity. I panicked for about 20 minutes. And then on the 21st minute, I saw the opportunity.
You actually got through that panic pretty quickly. That's impressive. My panic episodes normally last a little longer than that, but that's impressive.
I'm glad it was 20 minutes, because they're exhausting, those panic episodes.
It's like it stings and it crushes, and then you're like, okay, let's get through this. How are we going to get through this? We can all survive and grow. And, you know, sometimes the best compliments are when people do, you know, start the next chapter outside of your organization, and there's always, you know, growing pains along with that. So, okay. So I know you've been waiting on this moment, actually, and I have to give Amy so much credit for this part of the interview, because I showed up in the gym one day and she's like, Annette, I want to interview you. What if we turn the tables? Like, I want to turn the tables on you. And then I knew that this was in the works. So I sprinkled this in as a piece of hearing your feedback. So go ahead. You can ask me any questions, put me on the spot, whatever.
Well, as any good entrepreneur, we don't always follow directions, and we go rogue, and I have gone rogue.
Good.
So, Annette, I am going to ask you 10 rapid fire questions.
Okay.
And at the end of those rapid fire questions, you are going to get one substantial question based on the answers from your rapid fire.
I love it. Okay.
You want to stretch out? Do you need to
No, I'm good. I'm ready.
Okay.
It's not even fake it till I make it.
Okay. As every good entrepreneur does.
Right.
All right. Here we go.
Okay,
you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Post-it notes or highlighters?
Post-it notes.
Spreadsheets or pie charts?
Spreadsheets.
Strategies or ideas?
Strategy.
Planning or executing?
Planning.
Beginning of the year or end of the year?
End of the year.
Words or numbers?
Words.
Old or new?
New.
Computer or whiteboard?
Whiteboard.
Projections or actuals?
Projections.
And then sleds or ropes?
Oh, the ropes. I love it. I love the ropes.
Okay. I had to get that one in. Okay. So now, based on those rapid fire questions, my question to you is, who are you as a businesswoman? Who are you?
Yes. So I feel like all of my questions that I answered were more strategic based than tactical based. So I am a visionary and a dreamer, a creative in the sense of negotiating and knitting through things. When people come and talk to me, I literally can see their business in like milliseconds. It unfolds in front of me, and I can see how they're wired as a person and immediately see their strengths and weaknesses and where they will thrive and what some of their challenges are going to be. It's like this, I don't know, it's like this thing that just naturally kind of comes to me. So I am about the strategy. And Sean, my husband, who works in timber industries with me, he is all tactical. So thank God for him, because he is the builder type, the doer type, the execution person on my team. And we work really well together. Like you and I talk about our technology issues all the time. A whiteboard. Give me the whiteboard. Give me something where I can talk it out, where I can frame it out. But when I need to sit down at the computer and do it, or I mess it all up. But I could stand in front of 300 people and talk about something if you just put me on the spot and talked about it, or even here and whiteboard out something. But it's like that tactical detail stuff that I'm like, nope, need a good team. So as a businesswoman, I think it's just, I see things honestly from the financial side, the technology side, the sales side, the human capital side, and the client experience side. And that it's just how I'm wired. This is an assessment that we use here. I always have my teams. I'll flash it real quick because I don't want to show names, but like, this is the assessment that we use. And like, you can see people on my team are, they kind of have a heavier box. I am an evenly balanced box. So I can step in each space and see it all when somebody is really only seeing one viewpoint or one side of it. Does that make sense?
Makes amazing sense. It's just, yes, it makes perfect sense.
And people ask me, well, how are you as a businesswoman? Why do you do all of this? And it's honestly because, and it's what, like seeing you in your day-to-day, seeing you in your success, seeing you on your journey. I just see it. I see it with you and I see it for you. And that's what keeps me going. That's my daily gym, is like, okay, I had I had a gentleman in my office today. He's like, I have these 2 amazing ideas and I don't know where to go with them. Will you just sit with me? We sat and we mapped out his entire business. Now it's up to him to do the execution and the tactical work. But if he couldn't see it today, and we saw it together, and now it's up to him if he wants it or not. You know, I'm like, it's not going to be all peaches and cream, but if you want to see it, this is what it looks like. So I'm definitely like, I can see things that I don't know.
That's a gift. It really is. And it's a gift that you can be that balance for tactical people. And so
it's almost like a translator sometimes, or a therapist sometimes. It's a lot of different cool hats, but it's all related to business. And that's, you know, it keeps us all going, and it keeps families fed. It keeps, you know, the economy going. It keeps people employed and doing what they love the most, and their hobbies and their outlets. And, you know, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool what we all get to do, right? What do we all choose to do? And I know you chose this, and it's really amazing what you are creating there, the community that you are creating there. And did you love those questions? You did such a good job. I love them.
I probably could have come up with 50 more rapid fire for you, but I know I had to stop at some point.
Like, forget Annette. Let's bring Amy on.
Did you like rapid fire? Did you like?
I love it. I love it. The Post-it notes are highlighters, which is so funny.
I was thinking, should it be like Sephora or Staples?
I know, right? Which is hard too. Yeah. But I take my Post-it note game to like a whole new level.
Oh my goodness, that's on steroids, that Post-it note.
Yeah, I've got a couple here. All right, Amy, you are amazing. I encourage everyone out there that you find your healthy outlet, you find your routine, your discipline, your way to creatively move your body and to get your creative juices going. Amy John's location in Baltimore Training House is one of the best that I've ever been a part of. And I'm just so grateful for you. And I'm grateful for all of the friends and the people that just inspire everyone in that location, and all of your trainers. You're just doing a great job, and I'm so proud of you, Amy. Thanks for being here today.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
All right, we'll see you soon.
Okay.
Bye.